Everyone, Colin Sloan here again. This is recording number 3 in relation to updating the dementia diagnosis rate and antipsychotic prescribing data dashboards that we provide monthly. This one is focusing on the monthly publication that we send to each of the ICB program leads for all the people's mental health in our 3 ICBs in Yorkshire and Humber, which are Humber and North Yorkshire ICB and South Yorkshire ICB and West Yorkshire ICB. And basically what these dashboards look like are what you can see on your screen now. They take the form of a PowerPoint presentation, and they include 3 things, basically: the latest month's dementia diagnosis rates across the whole of Yorkshire and Humber, and also just one chart that just displays each of the ICBs with their sub-ICBs in a chart. That's followed by some ethnicity splits across each of the sub-ICBs and the ICB as a whole. And then finally, the antipsychotic prescribing rates. So what they look like is the Yorkshire and Humber complete picture across all of the ICBs and sub-ICBs in Yorkshire and Humber. Then the individual ICB and its sub-ICBs, and then the ethnicity splits for the ICB itself, and then for each of its sub-ICBs. This one is Humber and North Yorkshire, and it has 6 sub-ICBs. And then we go on to the use of antipsychotic medication across the whole of Yorkshire and Humber, and then a chart that shows just the ICB and its sub-ICBs, and also in England, the England average in there as well. And then a final slide just to describe what's in there and some links to where the data is available. So that's what we're going to go through today. How we do this monthly update, and we're already in the 2 videos that I've done already. There's quite a bit of detail about how we put some of this data together. We're just going to go a little bit more into particularly the ethnicity splits for the sub-ICBs, and I'll just go through how we produce the chart for each ICB and its sub-ICBs for DDR and antipsychotics. So if we go into the dementia diagnosis rate spreadsheet for the particular month that we're talking about, which in this particular instance it's February. We've looked at this spreadsheet before already, and we've gone through how to filter the data for the whole of Yorkshire and Humber, and how to pop in the chart for the whole of Yorkshire and Humber. What we so that process will be the same for the first slide in this PowerPoint presentation. You'll just pop that chart in, copy it from the clinical network update that goes up onto NHS Futures. But then you'll need a second chart, which you'll see in this spreadsheet. They're already in there, from February, because this update has been done already. So basically what you're doing really is you're just using the exact same chart, and you're producing a copy for each of the 3 ICBs. The easiest way to do that, everybody will have their own different ways of doing charts and things, but the way I do that is we have the chart for the whole of Yorkshire and Humber. I just copy it, and I've done this already in these three charts below. So I'll go right down below and I'll just do an example of and show how we do that. Copy it and paste the chart into the same spreadsheet underneath the original chart. If you click into the chart area and you right click and go to select data, and basically it pops up this data source box. And what you can do if we're going to work on Humber and North Yorkshire first, what you can see on the left hand side here, I can't, I'll try and make this a bit bigger, but I can't. You can see that all of the Humber and North Yorkshire ICB and sub-ICBs are listed there, with West Yorkshire, with England, with some from South Yorkshire as well as you scroll down. So what you do is just scroll down the whole of the list to the bottom and untick anything that is not Humber and North Yorkshire. So South Yorkshire ICB there, we don't want in this chart. West Yorkshire, we don't want. The NHS South Yorkshire there, we don't want that one, we don't want that one. West Yorkshire again there, NHS West Yorkshire, Humber and North Yorkshire, Hull, we want. South Yorkshire, Calderdale, we don't want. We want to keep England in. Got another West Yorkshire there, another West Yorkshire there. We've got 42D North Yorkshire. We've got 100 North Yorkshire, O2Y East Riding. We want them in. We've got NHS Humber and North Yorkshire, the ICB itself. We want to keep that. And then another 1, 2, 3 Humber and North Yorkshires. Click OK. And what you should see then, if you go down to our example, you'll see that by unchecking everything that isn't Humber and North Yorkshire, you're left with the Humber and North Yorkshire ICB, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sub-ICBs and England as well. So basically, you're left with 8, and if you pop yourself back up to the top here, you'll see where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 in my chart that I've already completed. What you'll see I do with the actual ICB itself, to distinguish it from the sub-ICBs, I make the fill a diagonal pattern, and the easy way to do that is just by identifying that is the ICB there. If you single out that particular one and you right click and you format the data point, it will bring in the tools that are on the left hand side here. Click on fill, and it's currently on solid fill. If you go down to pattern fill, and you can choose whatever pattern you want, but I always go for the diagonal lines, and it just highlights that that is the average for the whole of the ICB, and these are the sub ICBs that you can see going across. And then you would repeat that for the other ICBs. If I go back, if I do a right click in this chart again and go to select data, and I now uncheck the Humber and North Yorkshires and go down and check everything that relates to West Yorkshire, keep England. Uncheck Humber and North Yorkshire. There's West Yorkshire, there's West Yorkshire. That's South, that's West Yorkshire. Click on OK, go down to the bottom, and we should basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and the ICB itself and England. So 2, 4, 6, 7 altogether. If you look at West Yorkshire, which is directly above it, you'll see that, yeah. So basically you switched Humber and North Yorkshire off and switch West Yorkshire on, and then you would do the same for the South Yorkshire chart. You just go right click, select data, and just check all the South Yorkshire boxes to get the South Yorkshire one. And then when you're ready to pop these into your PowerPoint, it's just right click and copy, and then go over to your PowerPoint presentation. And you'll see that in this one, this is Humber and North Yorkshire's. So we've just gone into the PowerPoint slide. We've pasted it into the existing PowerPoint slide template, which you can copy from last month's publication and just paste it into there. And the key thing to remember is that when you first put it into there from your PowerPoint, from your Excel spreadsheet, if I just go back quickly to the spreadsheet, what you'll see if I go up to Humber's, you'll see that because we've copied it from this one, you'll see that the title remains the same. So February 2023, Dementia Diagnosis Rate in Yorkshire, and the Humber showing ICB and sub-ICB localities. So when you go to your PowerPoint presentation, or you can do it before you put it in here if you want to, you just need to basically where this one says dementia diagnosis rates in Yorkshire and the Humber, you just need to change that to say dementia diagnosis rates in Humber and North Yorkshire, showing ICB and sub-ICB localities. So it's just a slight change of wording. But when this is the West Yorkshire one, you would change that to say dementia diagnosis rates in West Yorkshire, showing ICBs and sub-ICBs, and for South Yorkshire, you'd say dementia diagnosis rates in South Yorkshire, showing ICB and sub-ICB localities. Simple as that. Fairly straightforward. The process for doing the antipsychotic medication tables is almost identical. It's the same. Just going back to the spreadsheet and choosing the antipsychotic tab, and you'll see you'll go through the exact same process. You've got the table in there already because you've done the clinical network update for Yorkshire and Humber. So you will just copy that table and paste it below 3 times, and you will right click, you'll select the data, and you'll see it. If I just scroll up and down there, you'll see that this is for West Yorkshire, and it's just got all the West Yorkshire ICB and sub-ICBs ticked in this list here, and just England as well, and just all of the others for South Yorkshire and Humber and North Yorkshire deselected, so that then displays the antipsychotics just for West Yorkshire. And you do the same for South Yorkshire, same for Humber and North Yorkshire. And again, I've done that thing where for the actual ICB itself, just a diagonal pattern. You can choose different if you want to. In the antipsychotics one, we always colour England in blue. Just to make it stand out, I guess. Same rules apply to get that into your PowerPoint presentation. It's right click and copy, and then over to your PowerPoint presentation and right click and paste it in. You may remember from last time that we have these labels, labels that are just floating labels that you basically, if you've copied this PowerPoint presentation from last month, when you come to drop your table in here, you just delete the table. Those labels will stay there, and then when you go to the format button and just push, just click on send backwards, and it brings those labels forwards. And that's it, really. That's both the dementia diagnosis rates and the antipsychotics for each of the ICBs. So what we'll concentrate now on is this ethnicity split data, which we've covered a bit in the Yorkshire Number wide dashboard, the one that goes up on Turnitin's Futures. We've covered how to do these. The first ethnicity split in this update is for the whole of the ICB, and they will still be there for you to copy, and we've gone through how to put this together once in one of the other recordings earlier. So what we'll do now in this one, we'll focus a bit more on the sub-ICB ethnicity splits, which again, because we've covered a bit of this already, it should be reasonably straightforward. So what I'm going to do is go to the ethnicity split spreadsheet, which is here, and this will be familiar if you've watched the other videos. This is the data that you download from the NHS Digital website. In fact, we can go there now, and the website is always on the PowerPoint slides. You can follow the link and it will take you up to the data. You go down to where the resources are. The top spreadsheet is the one that has got the DDR and the antipsychotics in. The fifth one down is the one called Primary Care Dementia Data. It's got the month and the year of publication, and then ethnic group by sub-ICB, and that's the one that you download to your computer, and that's this one that we've got here already. I explained in the last video that when you first get this sheet down from the website, it just has one sheet with all of the data in, with all of the ethnicity splits for across England. And so what I have done is I've got this this master copy that we started in January, and what I've suggested is that I think the best thing to do would be just to keep adding each month's data to this master. Basically, you'll see at the top here, you've got January 23 there, you've got February's, and I've already sort of done a March, put a March, some March tabs in there to accommodate the March data. And along the bottom, we've got a separate sheet for each of the sub-ICBs for Humber and North Yorkshire, for West Yorkshire and for South Yorkshire. And basically they're similarly, we've put the data in from January and from February, and I'd suggest that we continue that on, you know, for the whole year, or you could even go longer than a year if you want to. And so the way that you're going to get the data for for those sub ICBs is basically download the most recent month's data. I've got February's open here, and this is as I was just saying, this is how the spreadsheet will look when you download the current month's data. It's just one sheet with all of the data in it. So you have to do some filtering, and the way you do that is if you click on the top left corner and select the whole sheet, go to the data tab at the top and click on filter. And then the first tab we want to filter is the column D, which is all of the ICBs and sub ICBs. So you'll see, if I just open that up a bit, we want to go down to the H's for Humber, and the first of the Humber and North Yorkshire sub ICBs is 02Y. We're going to select that one, and then we go to the date tab here, and we uncheck select all. We go to the 2023 tab, and we want February's data, so we click OK, and that has filtered the February data for Humber and North Yorkshire 02Y. I can tell you that that is East Riding of Yorkshire. We're going to add that the East Riding of Yorkshire label to it. Because we've got the master copy that we're going to populate each month, all we need to do from each month's spreadsheet now is just filter the data and then copy the actual numbers and go back then to our master spreadsheet, which is here. And if we go to Humber and North Yorkshire 02Y, you'll see there that I've got ERY in there, which stands for East Riding of Yorkshire. And the February data is already in. So I'll just paste it at the side just to show you that, again, that it is the same data. And what you would do is that exactly that for the month of March, April, May, June, July, etc., etc. I'll just go back on that. And then, as I've explained this in the other videos, but basically the table at the bottom here it's the same data exactly. It's just been sorted from smallest to largest, just because that's how we've decided to display these tables. And you'll see in February there the data is sorted smallest to largest. So basically, when you populated the column up in the top table, you'll just replicate. You'll just transfer those to the relevant categories in the bottom table, and then you just select the data and pop in a slide, and you can see that I've got the 7 categories selected there with the February data, and we've inserted it's just a bar chart slide. And then we've inserted it's a bar chart. What you can do with these is click and save as template. I've got an ethnicity template there already saved, so I won't save it. But basically, when you do come to do the updates and you put charts in, you can insert a bar chart and just change the chart type and go to your templates and select ethnicity template, and it will apply the same template each one, so you've got a bit of consistency there. And you'll see that we've got the data labels showing, so that you can see the actual numbers of people in each of the categories. And then it's just a question of right-clicking, copying, and going to your PowerPoint presentation, and then pasting those charts in. You'll see I've got two charts showing on each slide, one above the other. And so you can just paste them in as you list them from your Excel spreadsheet and paste them into your PowerPoint. And for Humber and North Yorkshire, there are 3 slides covering the 6 sub-ICBs, and that's it really. You then save your PowerPoint presentation back to the Yorkshire and Humber files, and what I would do then is after I've done all 3 of the updates, if I just go to File, Save a Copy, you'll see that they're here. If I show you in this way, it might be just a bit easier to see it this way. So basically, you're going to our Yorkshire and Humber files, the Dementia and older adults mental health. You're going to number 2, diagnosing well. You're going to data, DDR 2023, February at the moment. You've got the file, the PowerPoint presentation there is the general Yorkshire and Humber one that we do, that goes up to NHS Futures, and then you've got a folder called ICB Updates, and you'll see 3 PowerPoint presentations in there, and you'll just pop Humber and North Yorkshire, South Yorkshire, West Yorkshire in there, save them, and then they're ready to send to the programme leads, and basically when you've done all 3 and you're ready, you can send those emails off. And that really is all you need for the ICB update. Just on the front cover, obviously, remember to change to the current month, February, March, April, May, whichever. And equally on each of the slides, there's usually a label with the month that needs changing each time. Same on that one. The titles for each of the ICB sub-ICB splits and ICB's ethnic splits. Just remember to change, the February to March if it's March to April if it's April, etc. That's it. Thank you for listening.